Broadcasting live from the Meridics via OBS Studio Broadcast Center at Centennial Sportsplex. This is GNASH Hockey on the Middle Tennessee Sports Network as we wrap up week 2 of this young GNASH season tonight by checking off a couple more teams off our We've Covered Them list this season. It's the Rutherford Rampage, our first look this season at the reigning Hine Cup winners, and the Nearly team from last year, the team that came 1 point shy from winning the GNASH Cup, Franklin. Both teams had a senior class of 9 strong. Rutherford having to do a little more rebuilding than Franklin. The Admirals off to a 2-0 start, looking to be the first team in this GNASH season to be off to a 3-0 start. Rutherford got clobbered last Monday night by Summit Page, but then this past Monday bounced back nicely with a 4-2 win over Father Ryan. We'll talk more about both teams in just a few moments. Zamboni out on the ice right now. All right, let's go over the final scores. From Monday night. There were 5 games on Monday. As I mentioned before, Rutherford Rampage beat Father Ryan 4-2. JP2 MLK beat the Montgomery County Rangers 7-0. Franklin beat Hendersonville Beach Lawson 6-1. Tennessee Outlaws collected their first win of the season, beating Independence BA USN Nashville Christian 2-0. And Summit Page beat Mount Juliet Wilson Central Green Hill 7-2. Right now over on Rink A, they should be getting close to being done. Ensworth Nolensville Lipscomb leading Mount Juliet Wilson Central Green Hill 8-2 in the third period. So the Bears look like they're going to be off to a start of 0-2-1. No wins, 2 losses, and that tie with Station Camp last Thursday. Here are the standings coming into tonight's action. Summit Page, JP2MLK, and Franklin all at 2-0. They're separated by goal difference. Summit Page at +13. JP2MLK and Franklin both at +8. But JP2 have given up 2 goals. Franklin have given up 4. Ravenwood, Montgomery Bell, and Ensworth all 1-0, although it looks like Ensworth are about to join that group at 2-0. Hendersonville Beach Lawson, Tennessee Outlaws, Centennial FRA, Brentwood, and the Rutherford Rampage all in a big group at 1-1. Station Camp Liberty Creek and Mount Juliet Wilson Central Green Hill both 0-1-1, 1 loss and a tie. Father Ryan and Independence both at 0-2, and Montgomery County Rangers the only team at 0-3 in the standings so far. As it's going to go ahead and track that live. So the only other game taking place tonight besides the 8:40 over on Rink A, Hendersonville Beach Lawson taking on Brentwood. So that is the only other game besides Ensworth Mount Juliet, and the game coming up here in a few minutes on Rink B, Rutherford taking on Franklin. All right, let's talk about the 2 teams playing tonight's game. First up, Rutherford. This is our first look at the reigning Hine Cup winners. Mike Jones is still the head coach. Again, they had a pretty big senior class. Both of these teams had big senior classes last year. Rutherford Rampage last year said goodbye to Colin Burnett Weiss and his brother Carter, Carson Brownlow, Taz Takayama, Abby Ricaldi, Jackson Feltz, Kea Plant, and the biggest name of them all, Justin Dickinson. Unfortunately for them, Alec Dawes, who became their starting goalie in the second half of the regular season last year and played in 10 games and won them all, 6 second-half games in the regular season, and then all 4 of the Rampage's Hine Cup games, he did not come back for this season. So they are having to readjust in that regard. Looks like Dawes is playing for the Nashville Junior Predators this year. It didn't appear like he put himself in a draft, like in a junior league draft, like the NAHL or anything like that. Anyway, there are just 5 seniors this year for the Rampage. Tucker Wilhelm, Josh Wolf, Kelvin McClendon, Cody Jones, and Dylan Welch. Those are 5 seniors for the Rampage. So they played 2 games so far. Their record 1-1. Opened the season last Monday, September 16th, with a 9-1 loss to Summit Page, then bounced back this past Monday with a 4-2 win over Father Ryan. So here are their player stats coming into tonight. Kyle Wolf, the leading scorer. He has 3 points, all from assists. Cooper Fiesel and Eddie Mays, each with 2 points from a goal and an assist. Dylan Welch, Kelvin McClendon, and Harry Seegers, the fourth, each with a point from a goal. And Logan Wolf, William Haynes, Lucas Bardo, and Corey Abernathy each have a point from an assist. On to goalie play. Riley Brennan, freshman from Eagleville. I don't think this Rampage team has had a player from Eagleville until now, but Eagleville freshman Riley Branham was in goal on Monday against Father Ryan, so his record 1-0, played the full 42 minutes. Goals against average of 2, allowed 2 goals and 14. The other 12, his save percentage in the regular season so far is .857. And Jackson Wilson played in the loss to Summit last Monday, so his record 0-1. He played the full 42 minutes. Goals against average of 9, not allowed all 9 goals on 36 shots, turned away the other 27. His save percentage in the regular season so far is .75. On to Franklin, coached by Todd Gross. Looked like they were headed for GNASH Cup glory last regular season, but a 3-game losing streak right at the end threw them off, and they lost by a point to MBA, and they ended up being knocked out in the Preds Cup in the losers bracket semifinal by Ravenwood. They had a pretty decent senior class last year. Owen McGroarty, Grant Hayes, Hudson Richards, who only played for them last year, Cale Lewis, Cole Pointer, Quinn Loesch, Gavin Akers, McLean Butters, Brandon Mills. So those were the 9 graduates. Big name that didn't come back this season, Hudson Loesch, Quinn's younger brother. He has not returned to the team this season. Michael Mannion is not playing this season. He has a shoulder injury. He's only a junior. He'll be back for his final season next year. But pretty much everyone else came back except for a few lower-end players who didn't get much playing time. The 5 seniors that Franklin have this year are Shane Morton Cox, playing his first varsity season. Casper Thurison. He's one of those seniors who feels like he's been around for 10 years. There are some seniors in this league, you can't believe they're already a senior, and then for another group, you're like, you're finally a senior, huh? And Casper Thurison's one of those kids. Chad Jansen, Brody Marchie, who did not play on the team last year but is back for his final year. They are also seniors, and did I skip anyone? Yeah. So just those 4, but Franklin with a pretty decent start to the season. Innsworth beat Mount Juliet 9-2. That game is over now. Franklin opened the regular season last Wednesday with a 6-3 win over the Outlaws, and then back on Monday they beat Hendersonville Beach Lawson 6-1. And Franklin game sheet's not pulling up for me. Because I want to go over their stats. There we go. Hank Hayes is the team's leading scorer. He has 4 points from a goal and 3 assists. Will McCormick with 3 points from 2 goals and an assist. Ryan Mannion and Houston Vale each with 2 points from goals. Makita Popov, Wyatt Garisher, Casper Thurison each with 2 points from a goal and an assist. Alex Broy and Quinn Spencer each have a point from a goal. Baker McCormick, Braden Guyas, and Brody Marchie each have a point from an assist. Let's scroll down to goalie play. Chad Jansen and Grayson Butters have each made a start. Jansen played part of the game against the Outlaws last week. Franklin never surrendered the lead once they put Butters in, so Jansen got the win. Turned away all 7 shots he faced, so his save percentage in the regular season is right at 100. Grayson Butters finished out that game and then played the entirety of the game against Hendersonville on Monday, so his record is 1-0. Now, for some weird reason, for that game last week against the Outlaws, they're showing that Grayson Butters allowed 3 goals on 1 shot, which would give him -2 saves. That's not correct. It's not correct at all. So his stats are not correct because of that. And I really don't understand why. Really do not understand why that happened the way it did. So Innsworth beat Mount Juliet 9-2. And Innsworth now make it 4 teams at 2-0. Besides Summit and JP2 and Franklin. Now I just got to wait a few minutes for the Hendersonville-Brentwood game to go live. Franklin, just like Mount Juliet, are playing their first 5 games of the regular season over these first 3 weeks. Monday, they play, who do they play on Monday? Monday, they play Montgomery. They should win that game. And then they play Brentwood next Wednesday, Montgomery County Rangers on Monday. And then next Wednesday, they play Brentwood. They should win both of those games. Their first tough test is going to be October 14th against JP2. We'll have that game for you. Ready to go with this one. Chad Jansen starting in goal for Franklin. I'm not sure who's in net just yet for the Rampage because he's down at the other end of the ice. For this first period, Rutherford will carry the puck towards me. Franklin will carry it away from me. First time this season we're seeing both of these teams. And this game is underway. Puck in the Franklin zone. David Unger firing it up the far side into the Rutherford zone. Looks like it is Jackson Wilson in goal tonight for the Rampage, starting this one in goal. Josh Yurievich, only a junior. Behind his net with the puck, almost coughed it up as it was coming out in front. There's a chance, early chance for the Rampage here, but unable to get the shot off was Kyle Wolf. Now back the other way come Franklin, and a shot turned away by Wilson at his right-hand post. First shot on goal of the game for either team. William Haynes playing the puck from deep, clearing it down ice, and David Unger tried to keep it in the zone. Icing waved off as it goes all the way back down into the Franklin end. Yurievich picking it up. And it's back in the Rampage end. They tried to clear. It's held in. Puck now back deep in the Franklin end. They bring it out. Back at center. Carry to the slot. A shot. Oh, just missed the net. Looked like it clanged off the outside of the left-hand post. That was from Hank Hayes in the slot. Hayes now wearing the number 29 that Quinn Loesch sported all his years on this team. Now the puck brought back into the Franklin end by Kelvin McClendon, but nice D by Brody Marchie to stay with him and get the puck off. Puck back in the Franklin end. Chase Wagers passing it ahead to Will McCormick. McCormick out at center. Passes to his left, and Hayes. Hayes on the left wing. Soft little shot that's blockered away by Wilson. Puck came out in front. Backhanded up to the left point. Held in by Baker McCormick. Now it's out in front, and a shot was stopped and covered up by Wilson, and that amount of play took the first 2 minutes and 34 seconds off the clock, so 11:26 left in the first. Draw is to the right of Wilson. Won by Franklin. Puck backhanded down to the end boards. Behind the net. Now it's out in front, and a shot just missed from in tight by Houston Vale. He was standing at the right side of the net, shot it across the front and wide to the left of Wilson. Backhanded out to the blue line, Casper Thurston trying to keep it alive. It's in the slot, Shane Morton Cox. Now there's a shot from Bale, bottom of the right circle, stopped and held on to by Wilson. 10:57 to go in the first end, no goals on the board, and Franklin with their best rush of the game so far. Draw was to the left of Wilson, won by Franklin, and a shot from Aiden Murphy at the blue line turned away by Wilson. Puck out on the near side, pass to center, Tucker Wilhelm, left wing side of the Franklin zone, goes to the slot, a shot turned away by Jansen, closing the 5-hole, so one of Rutherford's big guns getting their first shot of the game. Here's Shane Morton Cox back the other way, left wing side of the Rutherford zone, backhands it across the front of the net. Nobody in a white sweater was there for a redirect, and the puck ends up going out of play on the near side. I am standing behind the net that Franklin are defending for this first period. I'm standing behind and to the right of it, so the benches are the near side, the bleachers the far side, as always the case here on Rink B. Draws to the left of Wilson. Won by Rutherford, sent around the wall to the far side. Admirals doing a good job of keeping it in. Rutherford come up with it, and they get it out to center. Controlled again by Franklin, though, and Josh Yuryevich's pass ahead to number 4. I'm not sure who that is wearing number 4, but a little bit too far. Ends up going for an icing. 10:03 left in the first, still no goals on the board. Won by Rutherford, but it's out at center. Brennan Tellez with it. Backhands it back into the Franklin zone. Franklin pushed it back into the Rutherford zone. Rampage immediately cleared it out. Now it's back deep in the Franklin zone. That's Chase Ottolini wearing number 4, one of the newcomers to this Franklin team tonight. Puck back in the Franklin end, and a centering pass was intercepted by Josh Yuryevich. He'll bring it out to center. Yuryevich back into the Rutherford zone, hands it off on the left wing side to Baker McCormick got knocked off his stick in a one-timer from Casper Thurston in the left circle. Went over the net. Puck still in the zone. Thurston with it again. Carrying it down the left wing. Now here's Jurjevic in the right wing corner. Passes out to the right point. David Unger. Shot turned away by Wilson. And a pass out to the blue line, intercepted and carried to center by Cooper Fiesel. Fiesel back into the Franklin zone, but double teamed by David Unger and Ryan Mannion, Michael's younger brother. And Chase Wagers knocks the puck to center. It's back deep in the Rampage zone, both sides making some changes. Puck carried back to center by Rutherford. Eddie Mays getting knocked down by Chase Wagers. Now here's Wyatt Garrisher, left wing side of the Rampage zone. Going around the back of the net. Comes out to the right wing side. Passes off to the right point, but it went off the stick and out of the zone. And now back the other way comes Josh Wolf. Down the Franklin slot, a shot stopped and covered up, held onto by Jansen. Was Brody Marchie, who couldn't keep the puck in the zone at the right point, and suddenly it leaked out to center, and the Rampage suddenly had a 3-on-0. But defender came in from behind, caught up to Wolf, and slowed him down and forced that difficult shot that Jansen was able to stop. 7:32 left in the first. No goals on the board. Draws to Jansen's left. Won by Franklin. They push it into the Rutherford zone. Puck put in front. And it ended up behind the net. Puck now sliding through center, back towards the Franklin zone, picked up by Aiden Murphy. Oh, and he whiffed, trying to pass it up the ice. Has to gather it back in and go behind his own net, send it around the wall to his right. Will McCormick ahead of younger but taller brother Baker, out at center with it. And then Baker knocking down a Rampage player trying to move the puck forward. That was Lucas Bardo he knocked down. Soft little shoulder check. Puck dumped back into the Rampage zone. That's back in and around to the far wall. Rampage trying to clear, held it to the left point by Hayes. Fires it to the net, and it was, I don't know if that was blocked or if Hayes turned it away. Oh, yeah, okay, he made the save. They put the shot up on the board. Back the other way come the Rampage. Puck sent back into the Franklin zone. First one to it was Murphy. Houston Vale out at center, passing it off to Will McCormick, but offside go the Admirals. Hayes got into the zone a step ahead of McCormick. And that stops the clock with 6:10 left in the first and no goals on the board still. Draw was on the dot in front of the Rampage bench at center. It's now deep in the Rampage zone in the right wing corner. And a shot from the right edge of the slot went off a skate. That was Makita Popov getting off the shot for the Admirals. But it was blocked. Puck put out in front. Held in the zone. Josh Jurjevic tried to go to the front of the net, and puck slid off his stick and went past the net to the right of Wilson. Now it's out at center. Back in the Franklin zone. Banked off the near side boards by David Unger, and then it ends up out of play. Off a couple of sticks. Ended up in the Rutherford penalty box. 5:30 left in the first. Still no goals on the board in this one. Draw's going to be right at center ice. Won by Rutherford. They bring it into the Franklin zone. Here's Kevin McClendon. Pass across. Oh, nice save by Jansen. He got over in time to stop the shot from Josh Wolf. Stuck out the right leg pad and closed up the space between his right skate blade and the right-hand post. Best chance of the game for the Rampage so far. Here's Chase Ottolini, left wing side of the Rutherford zone. His shot turned away by Wilson. Wilson frustrating these Franklin shooters, but they really haven't had any chances in tight. Here's a shot from the right point. That's blocked by a stick. That shot coming from Chase Wagers. Now the puck out at center. Cooper Fiesel bringing it back into the Franklin zone on the right wing side. Poked away by Brody Marchie. Now here's Nick Hansen in the left wing corner. Try to pass it up to the blue line, but kind of whiffed on it. Pushed it along, not hard enough. So the Admirals take the puck back. Wagers, right wing side of the Rampage zone. And we get a whistle. Looks like we have our first penalty of the game, do we? Too many men against Rutherford. So the Admirals will get the first power play of the game with 4:19 to go in the first. No goals on the board for either team. Serving the penalty for Rutherford is Harry Seegers IV, Oakland freshman. Draw us to the right of Wilson. Won by Franklin. Shot from the right circle turned away by Wilson. Puck held into the right point. And Wagers a shot that missed the net. Actually went off something and out of play. I think it may have gone off the top of the dasher board and out. Went off of something of Rutherford's because they're dropping it to the left of Wilson. Rampage come up with it. They bring it to center. Eddie May is getting pushed off the puck right of the Franklin blue line, but the puck gets up in the Franklin zone anyway. Chase Wagers controls it. Brought to center by Casper Thureson. Thureson, left wing side of the Rutherford zone, passes out to the blue line. Josh Yurievich moving down the left wing, taking a shot. Gloved and held on to by Wilson. I think that would have gone over the net, but he gloved it just to be safe. 75 seconds left in the power play. 3:34 to go in the first. Still no goals on the board. Hendersonville have a 1-0 lead on Brentwood over on Rink A. Both teams 1-1 to start the season. Draw to the right of Wilson. One by the Admirals. Shot in the left point. Stopped by Wilson. Actually, I think it went behind Wilson and maybe glanced off one of the posts because the referee standing next to the net did that no goal signal. Another shot from the blue line. Also hit something that wasn't Wilson. Now Wilson makes a save on a shot from the bottom of the right circle. That was from Casper Thureson. Puck carried around the back of the net. Sent around the wall to the near side. Held into the right point by David Unger, but Josh Wolf pushes him away from the puck but can't clear. Wyatt Garisher keeps it in the zone under 30 seconds left of the power play for Franklin. Garisher behind the net. Passes it off. Now it's out in front. Thureson a shot. Stopped. And the net got dislodged. Put right out in front for Thureson. I guess they're not counting the save for Wilson, but Thureson with a great chance to put Franklin up. 16 seconds left of the power play. 2:35 to go in the first. Still zip. Draw is to the left of Wilson again. One by Franklin. Here's Will McCormick around the back of the net. Comes out to the left wing side. Passes out high. Brody Marchie shot. Stopped and held on to by Wilson with just 1 second left in the power play. Brentwood have tied things up over on rink A. It's now 1-1. Draw is going to be to the left of Wilson again. He is fixing his leg pads. One by Franklin. Penalty against Rutherford is up there, back at even strength. Shot from the right point. I think missed the net to Wilson's left. Now back the other way. Come the Rampage. Puck carried into the Franklin zone, but it's taken away from Harry Seegers the fourth. He was in the box serving the too many men penalty. Puck now back in the Rutherford zone. And centering pass missed everybody in front. Chase Wagers holds it in, passes down the wall, but it's intercepted, and then he tried to pass it ahead to Seegers out at center, but it was intercepted, carried back in the zone by Wagers, but one of his teammates was offside. A minute 44 to go in the first period. No goals on the board. Draw on the dot in front of the Rutherford bench. One by Franklin. Here's Will McCormick. Trying to go to the front of the Rutherford net. His shot stopped by Wilson. He goes crashing into Wilson, who falls on top of him. And it's underneath that mini pile somewhere, but it's not in the net. Oh, now Brentwood have a 2-1 lead over on rink A. Draw is to the left of Wilson. One by Franklin. Puck behind the net. Put out in front. Unable to get a stick on it. From in tight was, I think it was Will Clark. Now back the other way. Come Rutherford. Eddie Mays stripped to the puck right at the Franklin blue line, and then it trickled out to center and was brought back in offside by Kyle Wolf. 74 seconds left in the first. No goals on the board. Draw is now on the dot in front of the Franklin bench. One by Franklin. Puck in their zone. They got to get it out of there. Cleared out by Shane Morton Cox. Puck dumped back into the Franklin zone by Rutherford, but it was from behind the red line, so it's icing. We've reached the final minute of the first. Exactly 58 seconds to go in the period. Draw's going to be to Jackson Wilson's right. One by Franklin, and a shot from David Unger misses the net to the right of Wilson. Puck carried to center by Josh Wolf. Got to the Franklin blue line. It is in the zone, even though it was stripped off him. Now there's Josh Yurievich. Passing it ahead to Shane Morton Cox, but he lost it in his skates. Rutherford with it again. Under 30 seconds left in the period. Puck back in the Rutherford zone. Rampage controlling. Poked toward the front of the net by Baker McCormick. Intercepted and steered away by Logan Wolf. And timer's going to run out on the first. Franklin dominated puck possession, but Jackson Wilson was fantastic in net. Meanwhile, at the other end, Chad Jansen making a couple of star saves. And at the end of one, the Rutherford Rampage and Franklin are tied at 0. Ready to start the second period. Chad Jansen still in goal for Franklin. Jackson Wilson still in goal for the Rampage for the second period. Franklin will carry the puck towards me. Rutherford will carry it away from me. It's now 2-2 over on Rink A between Hendersonville and Brentwood. That game's not even 6 minutes old. Puck deep in the Rutherford zone behind the net. Brennan Tellez backhanding it out to the near side. Intercepted and held in by Aiden Murphy. Passed across the front of the net. Nobody in a white sweater able to get to the puck. Now it's out at center, and here's Eddie Mays, left wing side of the Franklin zone. A shot. Score! Eddie Mays, shot in the left circle, ends up in the back of the net. Just 26 seconds into the second. Rutherford have the first goal of the game. It's 1-0 Rampage. 13:34 to go in the second. I don't think it was a clean shot. I don't think it went in cleanly. I think it may have leaked through Chad Jansen. Shot in the slot, and Wyatt Garisher deflected out of play. Shot from the Rutherford slot. As Franklin try and answer immediately. Draw to the left of Wilson. It's won by Rutherford, Wyatt Garisher. Passing up to the right point, but unable to hold it in the zone was David Unger. It goes all the way back down, went off the kick plate and came off the right leg pad of Jansen. Puck out in front, and a chance for Rutherford again, but Jansen has to cover. Puck came right out in front, and Black Sweaters came right at it. But Jansen able to cover and keep Franklin down 1-0 with 13:13 to go in the second. Draw one by Franklin, brought into the Rutherford zone. Josh Urievich puts it in for the shot, score! Ryan Mannion fires it into the roof of the net from the slot. And for the first time this season, we're broadcasting a game that won't end in a shutout. It took us 5 games to do a game where both sides scored a goal. 1-1 with 13:01 to go in the second. First time this season I've done a game that will not end in somebody being shut out. Back the other way come Rutherford. Logan Wolf fires the puck across the front of the net. Here's Josh Wolf in the left wing corner getting pushed away. Puck back in the Rutherford zone, Ryan Mannion. Carrying it up the right wing side, passes to the blue line. A one-time run from Brody Marchie went off the skate of Cooper Fiesel. Came over to the left wing side. Rutherford able to clear after a few seconds. That's back in the Franklin zone. But jabbed out and brought to center by Casper Thurston. Possible 2-on-1. Past the slot, Mannion gets it back. Thurston shot. Oh, I think it may have gone off the toe of the right leg pad of Wilson. Thurston had the bottom corner of the right-hand side of the net all to himself. And now he gets off a shot from the left circle that misses to the right of Wilson. Yeah, that went off the toe of Wilson's right leg pad. He just redirected it away. Otherwise, it may be 2 on Franklin. Here's Will McCormick bringing the puck back into the Rutherford zone on the right wing side. Gets off a shot, score! On the short side, fires it into the roof of the net from the left-hand side of it. And Franklin have a 2-1 lead with 11:35 to go in the second. As they found a way to beat Wilson up top. So Will McCormick and Ryan Mannion, the goal scorers for the Admirals. Eddie Mays with the only goal for the Rampage. They've all come in this second period. Early on in the second period, we haven't played 3 minutes. And both sides have scored. 3 goals between them. Back the other way comes Baker McCormick. His shot from the high side of the right or left wing side of the Rutherford zone. Stopped and covered up by Wilson. I thought it was going to sneak under his right leg and go in. But he stopped it. Drawby to his right. It's won by Franklin. Hank Hayes try to pass it in front. Broken up by a Rutherford stick and they clear it out. Admirals bring the puck back in the zone. It's in the right wing corner. Oh, and Lucas Bardo takes a hit from Will Clark. Got shoved into the boards in the right wing corner by Clark, and Clark's going to go to the box for it. It's a boarding call against Clark, so it's a 2 and a 10. So Rutherford getting their first power play of the game, down 2-1 with 10:46 to go in the second period. And Chase Ottolini is going to serve the 2 for Clark. Draw is going to be to the left of Chad Jansen. Draw one by Rutherford, and a shot right off the draw to be kicked away by Jansen with a right leg pad. Now here's Eddie Mays, right wing side, his shot. Stopped and held on to by Jansen. Hendersonville now leading Brentwood 3-2. Now it's 4-2. Wow. Over on rink A. As Franklin cleared the puck down ice. There's Brennan Tellez behind his own net. Passes up the near side to William Haynes. Now Tellez back at center, dumps the puck back into the Franklin zone. It's deep. Now Tellez out of the blue line. Had the puck taken away. Here's Ryan Mannion out at center, but lost the handle. He had 3 guys surrounded him, so he's trying to find some room in there to keep the puck on his stick. Under a minute left in the power play for the Rampage. Eddie Mays out at center. Back into the Franklin zone, pushed into the boards on the right wing side. Now it's behind the net, David Unger. Puck cleared out by Franklin. Under 30 seconds left now in the power play for the Rampage, and puck fumbled inside the Rampage zone by Cooper Fiesel right near the blue line. Will McCormick able to keep it alive. He's in the right wing corner. Backhands it out in front, but right into the stick of Eddie Mays. Mays out to center. Mays back into the Franklin zone on the left wing side. A shot off the glove of Jansen. Admirals clear the puck down ice. Penalty time is up. They're back at even strength. Right off the bench is Makita Popov heading the puck off to Will McCormick, and his shot deflected over the net. And then it came off the glass, and Popov was standing at the right-hand side of the net, and the puck was bouncing, and he whiffed on it. Now it's back out at center. Now there's Makita Popov looking for another chance. Puck was coming down the slot, but Kelvin McClendon, nice job to jump in and swipe it away from Popov before he could get a shot away. And the puck ends up being iced by McClendon. 8:19 to go in the second, still 2-1 Franklin. But the Admirals with 2 terrific chances just now right off that penalty kill. It's now 4-3. Hendersonville over Brentwood looks like at the end of the first. Wow. Final score in that game is going to be nuts. Draw to the right of Wilson. Rutherford with it, trying to get it out. Held into the left wing side by Chase Wagers. Shane Morton Cox tried to push it out in front. He whiffed on it. Houston Vale tried to put it in front for Cox. It's out in the slot. Held in a shot. I think it was blocked before it ever got to Wilson. That shot came from David Unger. Now the puck's out at center. Chase Wagers will bring it back into the Rutherford zone, but it gets away from him under pressure from Logan Wolf. Now the puck coming around to the near side. Lincoln Galler. I'm sure it's pronounced Gallery without the Y. Send it ahead. Here's Logan Wolf from the left point of the Franklin zone. His shot blocked. Chase Wagers now passing the puck ahead to Makita Popov. Popov out at center. Now Wagers back into the Rutherford zone on the right wing side. A shot gloved and held on to by Wilson. 7:07 to go in the second. Still 2-1 Franklin. Draw is going to be to the left of Wilson. One by Franklin. It's behind the net. Logan Wolf pushed into the, it's William Haynes pushed into the boards. Cody Jones with a puck, banks it off the far boards, held in. The right point, put in front for Braden Goulias, but he couldn't get the shot away. It was a nice pass from the right point by Baker McCormick. Goulias in front, couldn't get the backhander away as the Rampage iced the puck. Wow, it's now 4-4 early in the second over on Rink A. Good Lord, the final score of that game is going to be nuts. Draws to Wilson's right. One by Franklin, and a shot from the right or left point, and Aiden Murphy was blocked. Puck carried out to center, immediately taken away and swept back in by Alex Broy. The linesman had his hand in the air. I thought it was a penalty, but it was a offside warning against Franklin. That arm quickly came down as soon as it went up. Puck brought back into the Franklin zone on the left wing side. Tucker Wilhelm, a shot. Stopped and held on to by Chad Jansen. 6:13 to go in the second, still 2-1 Franklin. Draw to the right of Wilson. One by Rutherford, chance for Kelvin McClendon. I think he may have shot it past the net. It was right in front for him. And now back the other way come the Admirals. Ryan Mannion in front of Shadow, hit the outside of the net. He was delayed trying to get around Nick Hansen. And when he got to the puck, he was a little bit wider of the net than he wanted to be. But then he scores this time. Wyatt Garrisher with a centering pass, and Mannion with a little backhanded flick. Into the back of the net it goes. His second goal of the game, and it's 3-1. Franklin with 5:48 to go in the second. And they score again. I had my back turned. Looks like it's Mannion again. It'd be a hat trick for him. It takes him just 7 seconds to get a third goal. So it's 4-1 Franklin with 5:41 to go. in the second. Shot came from the left wing side, ended up in the bottom corner on the left-hand side of the net. So Ryan Mannion with a hat trick. The other end, Lincoln Galler with a shot in the left wing that's turned away by Chad Jansen. Puck out. Wyatt Garisher brings it back into the Rutherford zone. A backhander, soft backhander, stopped by Wilson. Garisher again, pass across. Oh, what a save, Wilson! Passed it across to the bottom of the right circle. Chase Wagers got off a one-timer. Wilson threw out that glove and snatched it. Beautiful save. Keeps Rutherford down 4-1 with 5:10 to go in the second. Draw was to the left of Wilson, won by Rutherford, and they ice it. And it'll be to the left of Wilson again, as Rutherford change the front line for this draw, changing the three forwards. Draw one by Franklin. Now here's Will McCormick coming out to the right wing side. Passes over Hank Hayes with a backhander with his back to the net. Just missed the net to the left of Wilson. Here's Eddie Mays trying to carry it to center. Backhands it up the near side. Intercepted. Josh Urievich brings it back into the Rampage zone on the left wing side. Trying to skate it away from Eddie Mays. Will McCormick with it now. He gets knocked over by William Haynes. And Logan Wolf tried to clear the puck out, and it went into the netting above the glass on the far side. 4:20 to go in the second, still 4-1, Franklin. Yeah, Ryan Mannion with a hat trick here in the second period. Draw to the left of Wilson. Puck was put in front by Houston Vale, but nobody in a white sweater was there. Intercepted, carried to center by Tucker Wilhelm. He's pushed off the puck and it's dumped back in. Now it's over on the far side. Eddie Mays tried to move it ahead. Now here's Kyle Wolf shooting from the left wing side of the Franklin zone at the other end. That was blocked. Cleared to center. Logan Wolf passing it over to William Haynes. Now here's Eddie Mays back into the Franklin zone on the right wing side. Got pushed right off the puck. Cleared out by the Admirals. Brought back into the Rampage zone. It's over on the right wing side. Puck knocked away from Houston Vale. Makita Popoff fires it through the top of the crease from the right wing side. Now here's Kelvin McClendon going the other way. Right wing side of the Franklin zone. Had the puck knocked off his stick. Brennan Tellez passing it down the left wing. McClendon turns and shoots. Gloved and held onto by Jansen. 2:53 to go in the second, still 4-1 Franklin. Draw to the right of Jansen was won by Franklin, taken away by the Rampage. Now the puck is behind the Admiral net. Alex Broy sweeping it around the boards to the far side. Cleared out by Franklin. It's back in the Rutherford zone. Nick Hansen with it for the Rampage. Passing it up the near side. Broken up. Intercepted. Chase Ottolini, excuse me, with the intercept. Now it's back in the Franklin zone going deep. Puck swept around the wall to the near side. Now here's a chance developing for the Rampage, but Brennan Tellez pushed it past the net. I think it went off a Franklin stick on the way by. He was trying to get it down low to Kelvin McClendon. Josh Wolf trying to get the puck out in front. Wolf, shot, score! Josh Wolf, bottom of the left circle with a one-timer that ends up in the back of the net. And the Rampage get a second goal. It's 4-2 Franklin with 1:43 to go in the second. Draw one by Rutherford, brought into the Franklin zone. Eddie Mays, a shot, missed the net. And if that was on target, it might have ended up in the back of the net because I don't think Chad Jansen saw it. Puck out at center, sliding back into the Rutherford zone. Corralled by Cody Jones. He tries to clear, but it's intercepted. Ryan Mannion already with a hat trick. Had Kyle Wolf come in and take the puck off him. Held in at the left point by Josh Yurjevich. Trying to go to the slot with it was Casper Thurston. Kyle Wolf knocked it away from him. Here's Eddie Mays. Ahead to Tucker Wilhelm. Puck back in the Rutherford's open in front. Score! Kyle Wolf was all alone in front, and he redirects the puck into the bottom corner on the left-hand side of the net. It's suddenly a one-goal game. 4-3 Franklin with 1:03, 63 seconds to go in the second. Rampage suddenly making things interesting. Draw one by the Admirals. Wyatt Garisher offside. Brought in offside by the Admirals as we've entered the final minute of the second. Draw is going to be on the dot in front of the bleachers across from the Franklin bench. At center, won by the Admirals. Casper Thurston brings it into the Rampage zone and a shot that's sticked away by Jackson Wilson. Puck held into the blue line. Baker McCormick, a shot hit Cody Jones and went past the net. Here's Aiden Murphy passing it out to the right circle and Garisher. Back below the goal line, Murphy put out in front. Ryan Mannion shot. Nice save by Wilson, who moved with him. Had to go off his right arm. 30 seconds left in the period. Oh, and the net comes dislodged at the right-hand post. Actually, it came off its moorings altogether. 28.3 seconds to go in the second. 4-3, Franklin leading. Draws to Wilson's left. Won by the Admirals. Here's Ryan Mannion around the back of the net. Passing it behind the net to Casper Thurston. Put out in front. Wyatt Garisher, a shot. Stopped and held on to by Wilson into his chest. High chest. And trickles into the glove. It's now 5-5 between Hendersonville and Brentwood over on Rink A. Good Lord. Draw to the left of Wilson. It's won by Rampage, the Rampage, and they clear it out. Casper Thurston knocking over Tucker Wilhelm at center, and the puck flipped through the air, and that is it for the second. A wild second period. There were no goals scored in the first, a total of 7 here in the second. A hat trick for Ryan Mannion, and the other Franklin goal came from Will McCormick. The Rampage goals were from Eddie Mays. He scored the first goal of the game. And the other two came from Josh Wolf and then Kyle Wolf with a goal That's made it 4-3 Franklin over the Rutherford Rampage at the end of 2. Ready to go with the start of the third and final period. Chad Jansen still in goal for Franklin. Jackson Wilson still in goal for the Rampage for this third and final period. Rampage will carry the puck towards me. Franklin will carry it away from me. As period is underway, Rutherford win the draw to start the third. And the puck is dumped into the Franklin zone. Hank Hayes tried to clear it out, held in. Will Haynes, a shot from the left point that glances off the post to the left of Jansen. Rampage almost tied the game just now. Puck out at center, sent back into the Franklin zone, but right to Brody Marchie. Tried to clear it out. It was knocked down by some Rampage players, kept alive by Kelvin McClendon. Now the puck is deep in the left wing corner. Backhanded around the wall by Wagers. Now Marchie. Tried to get it to Shane Morton Cox. Intercepted. Jumping in front of it was Logan Wolf. Puck now behind the Franklin net. With it is Wagers. Chase Wagers banks it off the near boards. Hank Hayes passing ahead to Shane Morton Cox at center. Morton Cox back into the Rutherford zone on the right wing side. Holding and sends it through the crease. And the Rampage... Well, icing waved off. David Unger from behind his own net. Exits the zone. Back into the Rutherford end on the left wing side. Sends it to the end boards. Puck now comes around to the near side. Picked up by the Rampage and cleared. Sent back into the Rampage end by Franklin. Kyle Wolf with the most recent goal that's made it 4-3 in favor of Franklin. Gotten the Rampage within one, dumped it into the Franklin zone. It's out on the near side. Hank Hayes banks it off the near boards, and unable to keep it alive at the blue line was Eddie Mays. Now the puck back in the Rampage into the right wing side. Will McCormick tried to put it in front. Wyatt Garrisher couldn't get a stick on it. Now it's back in the Franklin zone. And Franklin turned it over inside their zone. Eddie Mays had it jabbed away by Ryan Mannion, but it's held into the blue line and shot past the net from the left point by Brennan Tellez. Now Jurjevic backhanding it up the near wall and went off a stick, stopped, so he picks it up and brings it out. Now he's back in the Rampage zone on the left wing side. Josh Jurjevic dumps it down deep. There's a shot from the left circle, missed the net. That was from Wyatt Garrisher. Now the puck is behind the net. Franklin trying to get it to the front of the net from the bottom of the right circle, unable to do so. Now there's Casper Thurston trying to stuff it in, but unable to do so. Cleared away from the net, still inside the zone. Held into the left point. Baker McCormick shot blocked. Here's Casper Thurston. Pass to the slot and a backhander for Ryan Mannion over the net. Mannion looking for his 4th goal of the game. They're saying Wilson got a piece of it. They put that shot up on the board. Back the other way come the Rampage. Eddie Mays unable to get around the back, checking Baker McCormick. Wyatt Garrisher out at center. Left wing side of the Rampage zone. Here come the Rampage again. Josh Wolf inside the Franklin zone, backhanding it past the net to the right of Jansen. Casper Thurston on the far side, flipping it up the wall, but held in at the right point. And shot from the right point, gloved and held onto by Jansen. He actually went off his glove and then popped in. That shot coming from Corey Abernathy, one of the many freshmen on this team. 9:20 to go in the third. Still 4-3 Franklin. I believe that was the first stoppage of this period. Let's see. The Rampage have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 freshmen. Their starting goalie, Jackson Wilson, is a Stewart's Creek junior. There are a lot of Stewart's Creek kids on this team. Most of these kids are from Stewart's Creek. Of course, before it was the Rutherford Rampage, it was Blackman, Stewart's Creek, Smyrna, but in the summer of 2022, they decided to turn this into a new supplemental team, an all Rutherford County supplemental team. And now we have 4. Here's Makita Popov, left wing side of the Rampage zone. Round a defender in front of backhander. Stopped by Wilson, and it went over the net. Went off of Wilson and up over the net. Puck held in at the left point. Chase Wagers fires it down deep. Now here's Popov. And taken away and cleared up by the Rampage. Out at center with it, Brody Marchie. Now Marchie with it again. Brings it back into the Rutherford zone on the left wing side. A shot missed the net to the left of Wilson. Puck on the far side of the Rampage zone. Now there's Chase Wagers up, offside. Offside called against Franklin. Whistle was kind of late. Wagers had started making his way down the left wing wall and started cutting to the front of the net when the whistle finally went. 7:56 to go in the game, still 4-3. Franklin leading. Brentwood now leading 6-5. Near the end of the second over on rink A. Drawing the dot across from the Rutherford bench. Won by the Rampage, brought into the Franklin zone. Tucker Wilhelm puts it out in front, but comes right to Will Clark, trying to clear it. It's held into the blue line, and a shot from Eddie Mays. Stopped by Chad Jansen, and having to rush in to get the rebound away from Tucker Wilhelm was Josh Yurievich. Otherwise, Wilhelm had a clean shot at the net. Puck out at center. Yurievich with it. Brings it back into the Rampage zone. Off to Will Clark. Now back to Yurievich in front. And his backhander stopped by Jackson Wilson. Now Hank Hayes firing the puck ahead, but knocked down by the left hand of Kyle Wolf. Brought back into the Franklin zone for a moment, then taken back and brought out by Hank Hayes. Hayes back in the Rutherford zone. Could not get around the back, checking Logan Wolf in the slot. So the puck's at center again. Here's Will McCormick. Backhanding it over to David Unger. It's back in the Admiral end. Baker McCormick with it. Passes across off the bench, and picking up the puck is Casper Thurston. Thurston back into the Rampage zone on the left wing side. Rounds some defenders, goes to the net, and a backhander gloved and held onto at the left-hand post by Jackson Wilson. 6:23 to go, still 4-3 Franklin. Period must be over on rink A. 6-5 Brentwood over Hendersonville. Draw is to the left of Wilson here. Won by Franklin, and a shot from Aiden Murphy out high was deflected past the net. Right as it got to the front of the net. Puck deep in the Franklin zone. Casper Thurston tried to pass ahead to Wyatt Garisher, and it missed him, so it goes for an icing. Up and early in the third, Hendersonville have tied the game up over on rink A at 6-6. Draw is going to be to Jansen's left. They dropped the puck, but then one of the referees blew the whistle. I don't think he liked the way the Franklin face-off taker was aligned. So they'll drop it again, still to Jansen's left. One by the Admirals. Baker McCormick clearing it out with a little help from Casper Thurston. Oh, and Baker McCormick gets tripped at center by Josh Wolf. McCormick standing still, and Wolf brought the stick a little too strong, and down McCormick went. So the Admirals will be on the power play up 4-3 with 5:23 to go, looking for some insurance. Draw is to the left of Wilson, won by Franklin. Casper Thurston in the right circle. Pass across, oh, and a terrific save by Wilson on the one-timer from Josh Jurjevich in the left circle. He got across and made a right leg pad save. Wilson's made a couple of those tonight. Had the outstretched glove in the second. Puck comes up to the right point. Passed across to the left point, and Josh Jurjevich. Now back across to the right circle, and Casper Thurston is shot gloved and held on to by Wilson. 84 seconds left of the power play, 4:47 to go in the game, still 4-3 Franklin. Draw was to the left of Wilson, won by the Rampage. They bring it to center. Here's Tucker Wilhelm, a shot inside the Franklin zone, knocked down with a glove of Jansen. Puck out at center, Eddie Mays with it. Brings it back into the Franklin zone on the right wing side. Tied up with Chase Wagers, minute left in the power play for the Admirals. Puck shot past the net to the left of Jansen by Wilhelm. Puck out at center. Here's Will McCormick, left wing side of the Rampage net, goes to the front of the net and couldn't get the shot away. He had the bottom corner on the left-hand side open. Couldn't get the shot off. And then the puck must have touched the netting above the glass because they've blown the whistle. 33 seconds left on the power play for Franklin. 3:57 to go in the game, still 4-3 Admirals. Draw was to the left of Wilson, won by Franklin. Will Clark, a shot from the left circle, stopped by Wilson with a right leg pad. Puck sliding through center back into the Admiral zone. David Unger's going to get to it. Got Kelvin McClendon all over him, trying to force him off it. Forced him to pass it to the near side. Will McCormick picks it up. Passes it out to center. Puck brought back into the Rampage zone. A shot blocked away by Wilson. Penalty time is up. Rampage back at even strength. That was David Unger who had the shot from the right circle. Shot from the left wing boards was blocked. It was Hank Hayes with that shot attempt. Back the other way comes Josh Wolf. He gets knocked down inside the Franklin zone, but the puck still comes to the front of the net, and Jansen has to stop and cover. 2:54 to go, still 4-3 Franklin. Traw's going to be to Jansen's left. If Rampage can't tie the game up anytime soon, you wonder how much longer Wilson's going to be in net as Franklin end up icing the puck right off that draw. Draw to Jansen's right this time. Won by the Rampage. Kyle Wolf put it in front, but Eddie Mays was tied up with Josh Yurievich and couldn't get the clean shot. Oh, but now Franklin. Oh, okay. It was an offside warning against the Rampage. I thought Franklin were about to go down a man. I thought Wyatt Gersher knocked down a Rampage player, and I thought they were going to send him to the box for it, but no, it was an offside warning. Puck back deep in the Rampage zone. Trying to put it in front for Gersher, went off a Rampage stick. Now it's back in the Franklin zone in the right wing corner. Put out in front by Will Haynes, knocked away by Josh Yurievich. That's back in the Rampage zone. Passed up the far side to Eddie Mays, knocked off his stick. And then it was taken back by Tucker Wilhelm, and he brought it in offside with Kyle Wolf pretty much halfway down the zone. Minute 53 to go in the game, still 4-3 Franklin. And looks like Rampage are going to use their timeout. So I expect to see Jackson Wilson sitting on the bench. No, wait. Face-off's going to be outside the zone. It's going to be outside the zone, so maybe not yet. They're probably making a plan. Minute 53 left. 4-3 Franklin leading. It's still 6-6 over on Rink A between Hendersonville and Brentwood. They're probably approaching the halfway point of the third by now. Shots on goal favoring Franklin 31-16. I think both teams have been shorted a couple. Timeout done. Yeah, Wilson's still going to be in net because the draw is on the dot in front of the Franklin bench. So if the Rampage win in and dump it in, he's starting to make his way to the bench. Draw in the pucking it up in the Franklin zone off the draw, but brought out by the Admirals. Will McCormick dumps it deep. Made sure to cross the red line to not trigger an icing. Puck put out in front. McCormick a shot missed the net. Makita Popoff behind the net. Passed around the wall to the near side. Oh, and there's a big hit. McCormick taking a big hit on the wall from Will Haynes. Puck drifting to the far side, held in at the left point and sent down deep by Josh Yurievich. Now the puck out at center for the Rampage. Tucker Wilhelm brings it into the Franklin zone. They're calling Wilson to the bench. Pass to the slot, and Eddie Mays got knocked down from behind by Josh Yurievich, who's going to go to the box for it, a cross check. So it's going to be essentially 6-4, a 6-4 advantage for the Rampage. You get a power play with 63 seconds to go, trailing 4-3. All the scoring was done in the second period. Draw is going to be to the left of Jansen. So the extra man out there for the Rampage. But Franklin, since they're disadvantaged, can ice the puck as much as they want. And they do. Oh, it's trickling towards the empty net. Oh, and it just missed. Aiden Murphy nearly scored from behind his own net. Whipped it around the wall. And it started going diagonally towards the Rampage net, and it missed to the right. We're inside the final minute of the game now. Rampage clear the puck out of their zone. Brody Marchi with it for Franklin. Passes across. Aiden Murphy fires it down ice. And again, he just missed the net. 30 seconds to go. Rampage send it back into the Franklin zone. Aiden Murphy with it again, and again he's going to fire it down ice. But this time he's not aiming for the net. He fires it down the far side just to get it out. Here's Eddie Mays. Stretch pass ahead. Kelvin McClendon off his stick. Murphy sends it the other way. Minute left in the power play, but we've got under 5 seconds to go in the game. Rampage for the puck at center, and that's it. Franklin, the first team to win 3 games in this young GNASH season as they hold on and win 4-3 in a game where all the scoring was done in the second period. Wow. Easily the best game we've done. Well, no, it's easily the best game we've done. The Outlaws Indy game the other night was pretty good, but Outlaws won that one 2-0. But compared to the other 3 games we've done, a 6-0 final, a 9-0 final, a 7-0 final, yeah, this was the best game. A 4-3 final is the best one. The goals for the Rampage were scored by Eddie Mays, Josh Wolf, and Kyle Wolf. And for Franklin, a hat trick for Ryan Mannion. And the other goal came from Will McCormick. And Ryan Mannion is our player of the game with his second period hat trick. And that last goal was the game winner. He scored his second 2 goals and that hat trick were just 7 seconds apart. So Franklin, all alone at the top of GNASH at 3-0. Got used to seeing that last year, but of course in the end they couldn't pull it out. Rampage fall to 1-2, but I liked Rutherford's performance tonight. They only got 16 shots on goal, but they were pretty gritty and wouldn't go away. I wouldn't be surprised if Rutherford either just fell short of getting a Preds Cup spot or just snuck in and got one of the last ones. Because they're probably a mid-pack team, because some of these teams at the bottom this year, woof. Man. 6-6 still over on Rink A between Hendersonville Beach Lawson and Brentwood. As that is the last game not only being played tonight, but this week. So the final score so far tonight, Ensworth Nolensville Lipscomb beating up. Okay, there was something being adjusted on the live box score, but it was not the score of the game, that Hendersonville Brentwood game. Ensworth Nolensville Lipscomb beat Mount Juliet Wilson Central Green Hill 9-2, and just now Franklin beating the Rutherford Rampage 4-3. So here are the standings with those 2 games in the books. Franklin now all alone atop of GNASH at 3-0. Summit Page, JP2MLK, and Ensworth Nolensville Lipscomb now at 2, or now the group at 2-0. Let's see, Ensworth won 9-2. So their goal difference is now plus 13, just like Summit's. But they've allowed 1 fewer goal, so they'd go ahead of Summit. Ravenwood, Montgomery Bell at 1-0. Hendersonville beats Lawson. Tennessee Outlaws, Centennial FRA, Brentwood, all at 1-1. The Rampage now 1-2. Station Camp, Liberty Creek at 0-1-1. Mount Juliet, Wilson Central, Green Hill now at 0-2-1. Father Ryan and Independence BA, USN, Nashville Christian now both 0-2. And, well, now both 0-2. They were 0-2 coming into tonight. And the Montgomery County Rangers at the bottom of the table at 0-3. So here's the schedule for next week. Again, there was supposed to have been a game tomorrow night in Antioch at 8:30 between Ensworth and JP2, but that has been moved to Wednesday, November 20th at 7:10 over on Rink A here at Centennial. So here are the games next week. On Monday, 5 games on Monday. It all gets started at 5:30 here on Rink B at Centennial. Father Ryan taking on Montgomery Bell. We'll have that game for you. That'll be our Monday night game on the air at 5:20 for a 5:30 face-off. 7 p.m., Centennial FRA taking on Hendersonville again right here on Rink B. 7:40 over on Rink A. Mount Juliet, Wilson Central, Green Hill taking on Ravenwood. And 8:30 start times here on Rink B at Centennial. Summit Page taking on Independence BA, USN, Nashville Christian. And down in Bellevue on the Terry Crisprink, Franklin and the Montgomery County Rangers. Next Wednesday, 7:10 over on Rink A here at Centennial. Independence BA, USN, Nashville Christian taking on JP2 MLK. 8:30 here on Rink B, Mount Juliet, Wilson Central, Green Hill taking on Hendersonville beats Lawson. That'll be our Wednesday night game. Pregame at 8:20 for an 8:30 face-off. And at 8:40 over on Rink A, Franklin taking on Brentwood. And then next Thursday night at 8:30 on the North Ring in Antioch, Ravenwood taking on the Rutherford Rampage. And again, next week we are bringing you the Father Ryan Montgomery Bell game on Monday. Pregame at 5:20 for a 5:30 face-off. And then next Wednesday, Hendersonville beats Lawson taking on Mount Juliet, Wilson Central, Green Hill, 8:20 p.m. face-off, or 8:20 p.m. pregame for an 8:30 p.m. face-off. No, and still tied at 6 over on Rink A between Hendersonville and Brentwood. But again, that game is going to go final once we get off air. As I just got to send out the Franklin Rutherford score. And so that is it for our coverage of Week 2 of the 2024-2025 GNASH season. Again, our final score tonight, Franklin 4, the Rutherford Rampage 3. The Admirals, the first team to win 3 games in this young GNASH season. Again, next week, on Monday, we'll have Father Ryan taking an MBA, 5:20 pregame for a 5:30 face-off. Then next Wednesday, 8:20 pregame for an 8:30 face-off between Hendersonville and Mount Juliet. I'm Michael Hackney. Thank you all so much for listening, as you always do. Have a great weekend. Good night, everybody, from Centennial. Talk to you Monday at 5:20 back here on Rink B for Father Ryan and MBA.